Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking the Rockshox 35 Gold RL, changing out some wiper seals, doing a lower service, and checking out the damper. Hope you enjoy and hope this is helpful. One of the first things we do is take all of the rebound off. So we're going to open it up all the way by turning it counterclockwise. Which I'm already open all the way. Pull the rebound knob out. Place it aside, you'll need it later. Now you can take a 5mm Allen wrench and loosen up the bolts at the bottom. So righty tighty, lefty loosey. One. Two. You're going to want to get them down a couple spins out on each. So next thing we're going to do is tap them so we can loosen the bolt that comes down here on both sides, or shaft, air shaft, rebound damper shaft. They both seat to the bottom of these legs and they'll get stuck, so we have to free them. So that's why we drop the bolts down a little bit, and then we're going to hit them with a hammer. You can hit them with whatever you like, but the hammer seems to work pretty well for me. Now for this part, what I've found is if you hold the stanchion where it connects to the lowers, it's going to help you knock those bolts up in there. So here we go. That one's pretty stuck. Let's try this side. That side's good. This side's going to give me problems. There we go. Alright, now I have a rag underneath. Oh, it's an oil soak rag, so I got the right thing. What we're going to do is we can take our bolts out now. There's one, oil's coming out. Okay. Before we pull the lowers off, just for the sake of being safe, we're going to empty the air out of the spring, so I'll get an idea how much air you got in there. Go ahead, let the smelly air out. Okay. Okay. There we go. Just let your lowers hang out on your oil rag or in your bucket. Okay, now we're going to take a 2.5mm Allen key. We're going to open up the compression side of the I guess the compression damper. There we go. Make sure you use the right size. You do not want to cross thread or round off any of your bolts. Okay. Screws out. Cap comes straight off. This is more so I can just see what's going on in here. It's been feeling like compression doesn't really work on this fork. So I'm thinking it's low on oil. I did have this fork serviced by SRAM Rockshox when I had the warranty for the lowers, and since then the compression damper doesn't really feel like it works. So I'm thinking that in transit it lost some oil through the lowers for whatever reason. So we're going to find out. Okay, so this is your compression damper. It is fairly difficult to pull out. Just keep spinning it counterclockwise. Grab it as far as you can and do a twist and lift. Counterclockwise, twist and lift all the way till it comes out. Now this little O-ring does provide a good bit of resistance coming back up out of the tube. So this is our RL damper, or motion control damper, and we're going to check this thing out too to make sure that it works properly before we put it back in. Okay, so I've removed the little clip. I just placed it. This little clip was in there. Just placing it up there. You just need a pair of ring pliers to get it off. Okay, now we're going to pull the bottom of the Rebound out slowly. Okay, there's your Rebound damper right there. Now if you go off of the instructions online from SRAM, it says to use some suspension cleaner and just spray it down inside the stanchion. So this is how the motion control damper works. There's the floodgate at the bottom there. It's fully open right now. So as you turn it, little plastic part closes up the hole. And there you are. It's lined up between the two little dots. You get a little mark there, a little mark on the other side, and that's where you want that to line up. So as we turn it, it closes and opens. Also, for those of you wondering how the Rebound damper works, okay, so here's your little adjuster right here, right? As you turn it in, I don't know if you can tell, it's going to be really hard to see, but so there's our holes, right? There's a little shaft in the middle of it. As you spin it, there's a little black piece that starts coming up, and it acts like a gate to let less oil out as fast. You can kind of see it there. Now as I come back out, you can see that the little black piece starts coming out and going down, and then you can actually see that that little gate piece there goes away, so you have full flow, or all the way up to your fast setting, your rabbit setting. So there you go. Okay, now we're gonna reinsert our Rebound damper into the lower section of this stanchion. Okay. Hands are all greasy. Of course, it's not going to be easy. Why would it be easy? There we go. That's seated. Now we can take our ring, split ring clip, and reinstall it. We get pliers set up. Give her a good squeeze. Things are never easy to get. Sorry, you can't really see that much from where my hand is. Let's move this in. Okay. Pretty much in. There we go. Now, stick the pliers in. Just make sure she'll turn. Yep. So she's in her hole. Now we're going to take 5-weight suspension oil and we're going to put 170 milliliters in the damper side of the fork. Okay, we're pouring 150 milliliters first, and then I'll do another 20 right into the damper side of the fork. It's 150 milliliters so far. And we'll do the other 20 milliliters right now. Okay. Okay, so we're putting the damper back in. When you put it back in, kind of go in circles. Nice little circles. Push down gently until it starts to get close to the threads. We're pretty close now. Now, I'm taking a wrench, but realistically it's better to have a socket wrench if you can. Especially because I don't know if I'm going to find the threads or not. Feels like I have though. Be very, very careful, because if you cross thread it, it's all on you. Okay, so next step for what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of the SKF seals and replace the original seals that were in the Rockshox 35 Gold fork. So take any open end wrench. This is a 3/4 inch one. Figure bigger means less effort. And you're going to go ahead and notice on most wrenches, getting oil everywhere, one of these sides, it's going to be bent, right? We're going to want to take the side that's a little longer, and we're going to put that under the seal and then pop it out. Alright, here we go. Do side number 2. I just did the first side, so let's see here. Okay. You can feel it start to come. And there you are. Alright. Okay, up next, we're going to grab our SKF wiper seal and our seal driving tool. I got this one on Amazon because nothing else was in stock. This one does 36 or 35 millimeter stanchions. So slide your wiper seal on. Okay. Stick it in the fork. Make sure all that's good and clean first. Okay. Get in the fork. Now you can push down by hand most of the way. It'll slide right in. And take a hammer to go the rest of the way. Just be careful with the hammer. Okay. And we're seated. Good to go. Next up, we take our new foam O-rings and we're going to throw them in some oil. I'm going to use this oil, so it's not really wasting it. So there's 1, 2, let it soak. And they will soak right up with oil. When they're good and saturated, we're going to take and throw them right into the legs. Just be careful when you do it to try to not have it wrap over on itself or anything. There we go. The final product. I don't know if you can really see it, but the wiper seals are on top of the foam O-rings closest to you. Okay, so we're almost done. We're just going to clean off the legs real quick with some suspension cleaner. Wipe them dry. Now we can line up the legs, the lowers, line up the lowers, and get them on here. Okay, so when you go to put your lowers back on the stanchions, sometimes it's helpful to do one side at a time. Get one leg lined up and slid in just a little bit, and then go over the other side and do the same thing. It may pop out on you a couple times, but eventually you'll get it. Now we're going to put 10 milliliters of 15 weight oil in each leg. That. And there's your rebound side. Okay, you work on getting your nut over so it's nice and centered. Careful to cross thread. It's easy to do. Now we got to keep pushing to get to the air side. Yep, here we are. Put the bolt in, nice and centered. Sure, bolt looks good. Okay, almost there. Now grab your torque wrench. This is a Tecton I got. It's a good wrench, works real well. Anyways, you're going to take a 5mm bit and go to 60 inch-pounds. Typically start with the air leg first. Sometimes that air shaft is further in than the rebound shaft. Okay. Done. Going on to the damper shaft. Okay, it's real close. That's it. Okay, take your shock pump, thread it back on, start filling her up with air. Okay. Well, there you have it. I hope this video was informative and helpful. If there's any questions you may have about this fork, please leave it in the comments.